Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. Here we are. Gareth Waugh returns to the podcast.
Return of Gary Waugh.
I wasn't here. When
I know,
you
I've got
were
the
here
full
last
team. It
time.
feels nice.
Right enough.
I know.
Was
The
it just us three?
printer's going off today.
I would say I remember you guys struggling to work the coffee machine at first, and I was like,
yeah.
don't worry about it.
Well, you should have seen me. I nailed it today.
Oh, it was slick.
Couple of years on.
Couple of years on.
How are you keeping, Gareth?
Very good, man. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Oh, of course.
Nice.
It's
You were away in
a
Australia
pleasure.
last time.
I was.
That's last year then?
Oh, that was fucking
2 years ago?
Yonks ago.
maybe even more than 2 years. Probably 2.5 years ago, I would say.
Well, I think I just had my son, hadn't I? So
LC.
What
he's
age is he?
2.5 now. So
Fucking bang on.
yeah, nailed it.
Wow.
I've learned
Got
how to
another
make
one
a
now.
latte.
You've got another kid,
But,
aye,
yeah,
that's
two.
right.
Doing
What the
2
hell?
now.
Boy or lassie?
Wee girl. She's now 9 months old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Tell you the thing nobody tells you is the difference in the smell of her shites. It's fucking atrocious.
Would you, what,
They're way worse. Hers are way worse than the boys ever were. They stink, man. I understand why women are private about it now. Because the things they're doing in there is disgusting. It's
Is
really
there a diet
gross.
the same?
I guess it's milk.
Milk,
He was just
yeah.
on milk as well. It's rotten. It's
But
horrible.
you not like, maybe, cause can you remember what his actually smelt like?
I'd feel like I would if it was like this, because
Right.
hers have got to go straight out the house. They're not going in the nappy bin. They're like, we're getting rid of that. Especially when we're trying to sell the house at the minute. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
if you smell baby shite, that's
The
upstairs.
opposite of fresh bread.
That's something that I do think, like, when I think of being a parent, the changing the nappy and the dealing with the shite
Yeah.
seems... That must be a hard hurdle to go over initially, is it?
No, really. You kind of just crack on. The
Right.
first few are bad when it's the meconium stuff, which is like tar. It's like
Oh,
trying to
fuck.
clean up caramel. It's all pretty awful
Jesus
stuff. What a start to the show.
Yeah. So everyone's tucking
pretty
into
bad.
their lunch. Right?
All these male comedians talk about shite. Yeah. It's not too bad. She shites in the bath quite a lot. I don't know what that is. Arlo did it once or twice, but she does it every second
All
day.
the time.
And the other day I took an old yogurt pot to like fish it out, and I was like, what's happened? I used to be a laugh. I used to do this stuff, and now I'm scooping up poo with a yogurt pot.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's fine.
It just becomes second nature.
Yeah, it doesn't matter really. You just crack on. Like I said, it doesn't. You don't even really think about what's happening really.
I've had to change a nappy once.
Oh yeah, how'd you get on?
It was horrible.
Yeah, boy or
Is that-
girl?
Girl.
Yeah.
It was my niece went, and I was watching
She's
her for.
grand.
I was, I was wa-
In the bath with it.
It's horrible because you got to open the wee door to get into it. Don't you?
I was only watching her for an hour, or like an hour or 2 hours, and it happened immediately. So I was like, I can't leave her for like an hour or two with that, and it stinks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do it. And I was
What
so,
was
it's
it,
so
wee
invo-
YouTube video? Or you just get a
I
baby
just
wipe
kind
and-
of went. I went.
Surely you can't have that on YouTube.
Yeah.
No,
Well, yeah. Just a guy talking to camera. The basics.
I think it goes against terms. You can't monetize that video, surely, at least.
Yeah, Mr. Beast doing a fucking advert and stuff like that.
I didn't even like, because obviously your dog was at the flat in Edinburgh. I didn't even like having to clean up when I would shite in my room at the odd time.
Did that shit in your room?
She was enjoying, shit.
The first thing that
She an
happened
indoor shit.
She's
when
not
Ca-
meant to be, but she's very
when-
out of whack at the front.
when Chris and
Right.
Grace turned up, I let her out the room to see them, and she just instantly shat when she seen Grace.
Wow, what a review.
Yeah.
Jesus. Was it? Oh, I don't even
Yeah,
want to get
it's
into it.
pretty horrible. But anyway,
Dogs isn't so bad, I think. Like it's all right because it's just one, and it's warm. It's all right. But sometimes the baby, you've got to be really wiping to get them clean. It's a real faff.
It's not
Anyway.
cold, is
Go
it?
straight into the Radio
No,
4
it can't be
plug.
Yes,
cold
you've
if
got
it's been
radio-
sat for a while.
so you've got a new Radio 4 series,
That's
Gareth?
right. Yes, very highbrow stuff. Yeah, it's coming out on
Scatological.
the 15th of October.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
4-part
What's
series.
that about?
And
It's me.
you and Marilyn Robertson.
Yeah, that's right. So she pitched me the idea. She was like, she basically was like, Spring Watch? And I was like, well, I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it. And she was like, right, imagine that, but instead of like badgers and squirrels and that, it's people. And I went, okay. And she was like, so think like David Attenborough and like that, but we're looking at people instead of animals.
Yeah.
And I went, well, how would that work on radio? Because surely you've got to see the thing that we're describing. That's the whole thing. Like if you just listened to Attenborough, it wouldn't be as good. And she was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I went, "I'll be honest, Mylene, it's the worst idea I've ever heard." And then a month later, the producer phoned me going, "Well, Gareth, tell me, what is Human Watch?" And I went, "Honestly, I don't know. I don't know." And he went, "Well, you better know because it's been commissioned."
Wow.
And so we had to figure it out. But really pleased with how it's turned out. It is mad.
How do you get around that then? That you can't see what the animals are?
I don't know. It just kind of works. We just describe kind of what's going on, what people are up to, and we kind of talk about things that they're doing vaguely rather than like saying it's happening now. We'll talk about like wild swimming or stag and hen do's, and we'll just describe what goes on during them.
Right.
So it's almost like a report thing. And then we've got like reporters in the field doing some live stuff and that. So it's pretty nuts.
That's cool.
That's cool.
How have you found it collaborating with Marilyn?
Really good. I think we complement each other well because she is mental. Not to disparage anybody's.
Yeah, the
mental
listeners
health.
have heard Marilyn.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
been
Oh
on
yeah,
multiple
yeah,
occasions.
yeah. She is mad, but like then I just filter all them because she's just got so many ideas, and every now and then I'll be like, "That's great," or "That's too mad." Miley, sorry. And then we sat and wrote it, and loads of times we did disagree on stuff, but for ideas, she's the perfect person. And then I was just like, okay, let's try and make this slightly less surreal and more normal. And yeah, it's great working with her.
So did she hire you as like a wrangler then for her mad ideas?
I think so, yeah. I think that's kind of how she
You
described
need a
it.
safe pair of hands.
Yeah, I seen she did an interview on some publication where she was like, "It's great working with Gareth because he does the jokes and I do the other stuff." And I was like, "What's the other stuff?"
It's a comedy.
That's mad though. Like, have you done anything like that before?
Nah, never. No, I've done like little bits of scripting and stuff, but not to this level. I would say.
Yeah, man.
Like it's really weird, and I think the hardest part was actually getting it down to the 15 minutes because, like, we just like I said, if you hang out with Mylene, you know she's just constant ideas and thoughts coming at you, and so trying to really narrow it down, get it right was great.
And are you in it? As like, do you?
Yeah,
do
me
the
and her are
voice?
the main presenters of the show,
Nice.
and then we've got Phil Ellis as our like roving reporter.
Great.
You've probably never heard of him.
No,
guys.
what's he up to these days?
no, I think he does the a hive at the Fringe every now and then. Or something. And we've got Alison Spittle. And they're kind of the two like reporters that we have, and then we've got guest voices from Katia Kavinga, Kai Humphreys, Dean Coughlin, Sam Lake, Kate Hammer. So there's loads of like
bunch of lads.
familiar folk in there. Yeah, it's
nice.
pretty cool.
That's class.
And I just listened to them on the way over and I was really pleased with it. So hopefully
Beautiful.
everybody enjoys it. Get on BBC Sounds app. Other apps are available. I don't know what I'm supposed to plug or what I'm allowed to say about it. But,
That sounds cool. I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
yeah,
for real.
it's good fun. Yeah, so we're hoping for a second series. And then they kept going, save your best ideas for telly. And I went, let's not do that. Let's put all the best
yeah,
ideas
but-
in.
Aye.
Can't be going, well, hopefully telly.
You can just surely you could just repeat
Reuse it.
the stuff.
Yeah,
for the
maybe,
telly,
yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
don't think TV and Radio 4 is a big crossover, do they?
Nah, because it's like so. Like, see Adrian Childs, right? He's on Fridays and 5 Live. I really like Adrian Childs. I like listening to him. But see, if you didn't listen to the radio, you just think he was dead now.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
he had that time where he became the big telly star and he went on ITV. And now you just. But there's loads
No,
of like
one of
telly.
he's one of the great essayists of our
But
time.
apart from the Guardian articles, of course.
Like, you know, my glasses slipped down my nose. What about you? That kind of thing.
Was he a star? Would you say?
Oh, aye. Well, of course he was.
Was he?
That was
Hollywood.
his-
Everybody knows who he is, I would say.
The big thing
Stars, maybe I
He
say.
was. Well, he was.
Match of the day too.
He was done match of the day, and he would present the
Was he on
England
the
game.
one show maybe?
On the one show, but then he got a bit. So that was his big thing. He got a big switch to ITV, but it was like widely reported how many millions he'd got for it, which I can't remember how much, but it was a lot. And I think that put too much pressure on him. It was like a price tag in the football.
He's like Lukaku.
And then it was like, because people were all, because I suppose his thing was like, he was sort of relatable, but obviously he's not the most conventionally handsome guy in the world.
Aye.
So then I think people were like, why the fuck's he on it? And, you know, we don't actually like it. And then it became a bit of a lightning rod for people's.
Yeah.
Was
you know.
his chat good?
I like it.
I think he's great on the radio.
Really?
But I think maybe it's one of those ones.
I've
maybe
not,
he's.
I've not given
he's
him a
more-
fair chance. I don't think.
Yeah,
Did he start on like
You're,
working
you're his
lunch or
Roy
something?
Keane.
What did you say, Stu?
Did he start on like working lunch or like? You know,
Probably
remember
something
those
like that,
shows?
probably, yeah.
Come
You know.
on.
But anyway, why the fuck did I bring him up?
Don't know.
Because I think it's like, yeah,
We're
basically
giving him
just
at least equal weight to Gareth Radio 4 show.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, obviously, like this.
Like, you also don't have a face for TV, Gareth.
I'm just saying that, you know, if you use something in the radio, most people won't have heard it, and then the telly, it's like, no, hang on together. It's like the way that like people don't know that like Tune the Fat or something started to do. It's like a radio show. They only knew it when they went to telly, I guess.
Mitchell and Webb.
Mighty Bush.
All that kind of stuff.
Mitchell and Webb.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a
That's
starting
still
point.
going.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
kind of
Back.
Back with a bang.
That could be you in 20-year time.
20, oh God, I don't like that trajectory, but that's not bad. I'll take it as long as
There
I'm
you go.
still going and doing stuff.
I'm
in 20
sure.
years.
How did you find doing the radio stuff and writing for that as opposed to just doing stand up?
I think the intro, like at first we had quite a lot of swearing in it, and then they were like, I'll do a lot better without any swearing because then they can put on other time slots.
Uh-huh.
So then we started removing that and like cleaning it up a lot, and I think just scripting stuff as well. And they were like writing really funny lines for other people was quite annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, that's a really good one.
you
Is there a
want
way
that
I
for
could say
yourself.
that?
Yeah.
But you've just got to be a bit more generous and go, well, it's all about the whole thing,
Totally.
which is nice. But like, writing, we had Phil in mind straight away for a character. So once you've got that in your head, you're like, right, well, what would Phil say in this? Because we didn't want people to act too much. So it was like quite easy to write for Phil because you just give him all the kind of madder stuff and
Aye.
like a bit depressed as well. Depressed undertones, but also a bit manic. So just trying to get that puzzle piece of how it all should work. Like we really agonised over certain words and lines a lot of the
Aye.
time. But yeah, it is a totally different skill set for sure.
Totally.
I'd like to move on from this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair enough.
We can come back to it. I would just like to say you were listening to this podcast. I think it would be nice to say this, and you heard some. We were talking about some information.
Yes.
Some sexual health information.
Yes, yeah. Well, health is one way to put it. Yeah. I remember. I remember
about
watching that.
I don't know what's going on here.
So there was a clip from your podcast that came up. I was in London doing some gigs, and I was in my hotel room, which was underground. I think is just to paint a picture. I didn't. it said
Easy
like-
Hotel.
No, it was Zedwell, and it's like pitched as like really zen and chill, but there's no windows. And when I first walked into the room, there was like little ear plugs on the pillow, and I was like, I wonder what that's for. And then I heard a tube go by, and I was like, that's exactly what that's for.
You shouldn't be on the same level as the tube.
No. So if anybody's wondering how the career's going, I can't afford to live at sea level. That's where I'm at. So I was away from the wife and kids, so I thought I'm just going to have a great day of being lazy. And so I just sat, didn't even put the TV on. I was just scrolling reels all day. And then one come up from this, and it was the episode with Grace Jarvis, and which was talking about the alphabet technique with regards to cunnilingus.
Cunnilingus.
Oral
Which,
sex.
yes. Now, if you aren't aware of this, listeners, I heard about it maybe 15, 20 years ago in like Eurotrash or something like that. So I was I'd heard of what you're supposed to do. And
Doing the alphabet while doing cunnilingus.
yeah,
With your tongue.
With your tongue, yeah. So when Grace was going, oh guys, a bit of advice for anyone listening: don't do capital letters. Don't be like boorish. Don't be going like A, B, C. So they make it more cursive and flowing, like A, B. And as I was watching that, I was just like, oh no, because that's not what I've been doing. I've not been doing capital letters or cursive letters. What I've been doing genuinely for like 15 years is saying the alphabet. So I've been going A, B, C. And I remember watching it going, fucking hell, that's awful. Because I was just like flashing back my whole life, like all constantly do it. Well, not constantly, like 3 times maybe. I went to do the gig that night and I met up with Thomas Green and Ishan Akbar, and I was asking them about I was like, do you know the alphabet technique? And they went, yeah, well, you do the alphabet with your tongue. And I was like, interesting way to phrase that. Because that's what I heard, you do the alphabet with your tongue. And they were like, no, like you spell the alphabet. And I told them what I've been doing. And they were just like, what are you fucking talking about? And Ishan was like, how loud were you doing it? And I was like,
There's surely somebody would say
It'll be
something
muffled
to
at
you.
least.
yeah,
Surely.
yeah. Well, it's rude to speak.
I'm thinking the vibrations might be quite nice.
That's one way of putting it.
Well, I did say, I was like, no, I wasn't doing it loud. I'm not a total idiot. I was like, he was like, you've been whispering into vaginas for 15 years. Yes,
Little
I am.
secrets.
Yeah.
Wait, what practical purpose did you think that had? Because
I
if
just
they
thought like
can't
the different
hear it,
pressure of your tongue, like I don't know, like I thought maybe, but I mean, reality is it's the same.
Yeah.
But I thought like your tongue moving that way would be fine. I didn't really question it. I just went, look, that's what the sex experts
That's
say.
what
so-
everyone's doing.
yeah.
and they anyone you've done this to never heard it enough to like say what you did.
Well, no, I was way down there. I went had covers over my head probably, but I was like doing it quiet, like don't want to wake up any parents. Oh my god! I mean, as a younger man, Jesus Christ, yeah, I just thought that's what you did.
That is Amazing.
That's unbelievable.
I
You've got a wife.
do, yeah. So it can't be that bad a technique. Just say that. It's all worked out well for me. She's a big fan of Sesame Street.
Have you changed your
I-
tune, I suppose?
I'm no longer doing that technique. Yet.
Wow.
I've pitched it. I mean, I maybe should have got married, so it can't be that bad, like I said. But
Isn't it funny though? There's probably stuff like that loads of people have got that, like, you've heard this wee tidbit of something,
yeah.
and then you've just carried it on completely, taking the
Well,
rang
I've done it
into
on
the
stage a couple of times now, that story. A lot of folk don't believe me that
Yeah.
that's what I was doing, but it's 100% what I was doing.
That's crazy.
Christ.
Yeah, I remember being on with you at Monkey Barrel not long after you had that long night at the
Epiphany.
Soul, yeah. And you telling them, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, because like when I was telling Ishan and Thomas, they were like, "You've got to try this on stage," and I was like, "I don't think it'll work. Like, there's nothing. It's just an embarrassing thing. There's no like punchlines there." And then the first time I tried it, it went really well. I texted them going, "I've just tried it. It was great." And they were like, "Yep, you're welcome." I was like, "To be honest, you get most of the punchlines, mate. To be like it's Phil Ellis all over again. Get all the good lines in the radio show." Yeah, that was horrendous. I remember seeing Grace afterward. I hadn't really met her before, and I had to tell her, I was like, "You've changed my life." And my wife,
The thing is, she was actually giving advice on another mistake people make.
I know, yeah.
Saying don't do it at all.
Yeah.
I think she was
Well,
saying.
just saying,
Oh,
don't
was she doing cursive?
well,
I think if you have to do it, don't say it aloud.
don't do capital letters, and he's going,
Yeah,
hang
yeah.
on, I'm actually saying the letters. I'm not doing it. I'm not making
never
a shape with my
crossed
tongue.
anyone's mind that somebody would do that, but yeah, that's what I was doing. Because I think I did hear it when I was a teenage boy, and so like they said, do the alphabet with your tongue, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's fine. At no point did it enter my head that they meant
Follow-up
spell it.
questions.
I'm sure there will have been someone else out there who has done it, but there is a possibility you're the only person in the world who's ever
It's very, very true. Yeah. I
who's
know.
ever taken it that way.
Do you think there's ever been two lesbians that have got together and they both do it?
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's Britain in the
This is
stars.
terrible. I've just found out that this is bad.
Fucking hell, man. That's great.
Well, I don't know if it's great, but it's a thing that happened, and
It's
it's fine.
It's a classic Waugh caper.
Oh, I'm full of them. Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying today's episode, guys. And if you are and would like to support the podcast, you can sign up to our Patreon. For as little as just £3 a month, you can get access to an extra episode once every 2 weeks, plus bonus content from all our previous live shows. The live shows generally in full up there, as well as some behind the scenes content as well. And just not only that, but it keeps us going, keeps us growing as a podcast. If you'd like to support us going forward, you also get discounted merch on there. We do have some Laugh merch available for general sale, but you'll get a wee discount if you sign up to the Patreon. And if you're looking for something for a present for your loved one or for yourself in the run up to Christmas, the Some Laugh merch is available through our partners at Visual Antics. Some cracking gear over there as well: hats, t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, etc. We hoodies, jumpers, and all that kind of stuff are on there. And if you'd like to get any of that, also tickets are still on sale for my show on Friday the 20th of March at the King's Theatre in Glasgow. I'm coming back to the King's. There's a lot of tickets gone already, and I'll hopefully see a lot of the Some Laugh listeners there. If you haven't bought tickets already, hopefully catch you there in March. Aside from all that, guys, enjoy the rest of the episode. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You've been at sea.
A lot, yes, an awful lot.
Doing the cruise ships.
Yeah, I'm away next week to do another one. I'm away for 3 weeks.
Where are you going?
Round the Med a couple of times. Do you know when I first got asked to do them, my agent phoned me up and he was like, "Do you want to do cruise ships?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't think I do." I just had this image in my head of first of all, the comedians on board. I'm picturing some old school guy in the 70s, "Oh, my wife, take her," and all that. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I also don't think they'll enjoy the sort of stuff I do on a cruise ship. And I thought they'd just be really right-wing, gammony people, ironically, folk that want to stop the boats. But, yeah, I did. They told me how much money it was, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so I've done, quite a few now.
How do you find them?
I quite like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like the full of the gammon and all that, or is it what?
I've done one ship that was,
Because they try to modernise. It's like a lot of when you go and do, even in after dinner speaker circuit and all that, or corporates in Scotland,
Yeah.
a lot, you get the impression now that they get guys like us in there because they're trying to, they're sick of those old guys.
Yes, that's 100%. You're absolutely right.
I feel on those ships and I suppose some of the more kind of trendy or try to go for a slightly
Yeah,
younger.
yeah. So there's one brand that I work for. I probably shouldn't name them because
So you don't
I'd like
need
to.
We don't want you
continue
to
all the
lose work.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Also, they're not getting the sponsorship. For
yeah,
free.
yeah. This is my favourite one.
You cough up, fucking Calmac. Thanks a lot, Calmac.
Calmac Cruise.
P&O would be good to send to a vagina at least.
How do you say ampersand? Yeah, there's one ship that I do that's 18 plus, and they've basically said, yeah, we don't want older clientele because they're dying, really.
Yeah.
So they were like, their average age is like 40, so they're getting like younger comedians on. And I did one of their ships once. When I got on board, they said, look, the clientele on this particular cruise is much older than we're used to. Please don't pander your act. We've booked you for you, so just do your stuff. If they don't like it, that's their fault.
It's easy to say that, though.
Wow.
I know, yeah.
Dying on your ass
They're
for
not the ones
45
going up
minutes.
and taking the hit.
I know, yeah. But it was still fine. But it was, you could tell they were a wee bit older and expecting a bit more old school sort of comedy,
Yeah.
like one lines and
And are you
racist
the
stuff.
only comic?
Sometimes, yeah.
That must be hard.
Pressure.
Yeah, well, the first gig is the worst when you first get on and you're the only comedian because you're like, if I die here, I'm now just trapped on this
It's
ship
sea.
with these people. And I did have one where I did the first gig and it went pretty good. I was like quite pleased with it. And as I was walking back to my cabin, I just heard some woman go, God, I thought he was absolutely dreadful. Well, that's me not leaving the cabin for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's worse. Like, it's not so bad if you like stop somewhere and you're in port because then you can kind of go about. The ship's quieter and stuff. But if you're at sea, there's just 3,000 people kicking about, and you're like, these have all seen me in some regard.
But how
It's a horrible feeling.
How big is the room? Is it what, like
Depends. Like, so there's one of the ships I do. You do a theatre, so it's 300 people.
right?
It's great. Like, it feels just like a theatre gig. Although because like it's a free show, so folk can just come in if they like. The folk do leave quite a lot. You'll always see like maybe 5 or 10 people leaving right at the start of because they're like, oh, we're not into this, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some Asian people on one, and they left and asked the staff afterwards, was they okay? Did they find it offensive or what? And they went, oh no, they just said it was just a man talking. And I went, to be fair, yeah, it was. Yeah, I can't argue with
Just
that.
hate your radio show.
Yeah, there's a woman on that as well. But yeah, mostly it's all right. It's quite good fun.
Yeah,
I mean, it is weird walking about and folk just be like,
Do people come up to you like in the day after the scene you're just like,
Yeah.
having lunch or whatever?
yeah,
And
all
they'll
the
be
time.
like, oh, hey.
Sometimes they tell you like jokes and stuff, and that's always horrific. You know,
Yeah,
it's because
yeah.
you get after gigs all the time, but when you're stuck with them, you really have to listen and laugh and all that.
I bet. Aye.
And because the ships are so paranoid about any complaints, so you've got to be like super nice. Like, you've got rules of how to treat the sailors, as they're called. They're not called punters or customers.
right.
Yeah. The sailors, you've got to treat them a certain way. Like, you let them pass on the hall, you let them go in the elevator first, and all that sort of
So
stuff.
you're kind of performing almost the whole time you're on the ship.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Right.
there was one guy that said I was funnier in the smoking room than I am on stage. And I was like, thanks, mate. I mean, it still counts. Yeah. But I quite like them. I don't mind them. This one I'm doing is 3 weeks, which is a wee bit too long. But I'm
Aye.
on with 2 other comedians, so that'll be all right.
It's like doing a fringe at sea.
Yeah. Although you don't gig like every day. It's like maybe 3 or 4 days in the week.
All right.
on it, so it's not
Do you
so
manage
bad.
to enjoy the actual cruise?
Yeah, sometimes like I get off. I mean, I've seen places I probably wouldn't have went before. I stopped in Napoli and stopped in Naples and went and watched Napoli. So I got to see
Brilliant.
Scott McTominay.
Nice.
My taxi driver was like, "Why are you here?" I was like, "Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore," and he was like, "Oh, McTominay!" I was like, "And Gilmore," and he was like, "There." But they were so excited about it. So the only Italian I learned was so non parlo Italiano, sono Scorsese, which is I'm Scottish, and they were like, "Oh yeah," and McTominay, and just seeing his shirt everywhere was mental.
Yeah.
But I
Did
got
you
to-
say Scorsese? Is that
Scorsese, yeah.
is that like Martin?
He's playing up front. now.
Martin. He's not called
He
Martin
needs it into
Scottish, is
feet
it?
these days.
Marty Scottish, aye.
Is it?
No, I
Do
don't
they
know.
not call him something like McFrum or something like that? It means like
They'll give him some
they've
sort
got
of
some mad
nickname.
weird nickname for him, and it basically means like McLad or something. Like that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Aye, that's it's no
Yeah, I
that,
know
but
what
it's
you
something
mean.
like that.
But I wore a Scotland top to the game, and everyone was like, they were quite buzzing. They were like, "Have you come all the way from Scotland for this?" And I was just like, "Aye, why not? I'll just lie."
Funny, he is English too. Fucking Manchester, or whatever, but that's cool though, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
good. Yeah, you get to see all these places. I was in Sicily with Carl Spain and just looking at all Godfather stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's nice.
But I mean, yeah, they are kind of what you expect. There's a lot of Americans on board. was like this, my very first day on board when I was having breakfast, and this old lady from Florida just started speaking to me. That's the other thing, like, folk on board just chat to you, which I think you're not used to, like, especially in Edinburgh. I'm an Edinburgh boy, nobody talks to each other there. Like, Glasgow's maybe a bit different, but...
What is this, at like breakfast or whatever you
Just
talking
anywhere, yeah. This was at breakfast, and she was chatting away, and she was, I'm so sorry, I didn't ask where you're from. And I said, I'm from Edinburgh in Scotland. And she went, oh, your English is amazing. So I said, thank you very much. Yeah.
So
We get that a lot, yeah.
Do you always go alone? Do you ever take your missus?
So
kids?
most of the ships you've got to do 3 contracts before you can then bring a partner.
Oh.
But this one, because it's 18 plus, she tends not to come because we've got the kids, so we'd have to find somewhere for them. She was going to come on this one, but we got our honeymoon in November, so we're like, we'll just leave it.
Yeah.
I was quite like you to see what it's like on board, because it is a good laugh.
Aye, because it's just
I fancy doing one.
Aye, because then it's a sort of self-imposed self-holiday, really. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%.
But
Yeah,
you're doing the gigs.
and I mean they give you 2 free drinks a day, so you can't really pass them up. So it's a good laugh.
Well, us land lovers, we're not. I just wanted to say land lovers.
Aye.
I like that. I like how they must have some pirate or whatever must have came up with the name land lovers, is like because he was so insecure about being on sea. All the times, like, yeah, fucking land lover, you know.
Yeah.
Like calling them the woke brigade. Or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
like that.
He's marginalising almost the entire human race by calling them land lovers.
Flag shaggers, same thing, innit? I had one woman say something borderline offensive to me once. She was like, I'm retired, but it's like so expensive to go in a care home that I just do cruises all the time. So I just do back-to-back cruises because it's basically the same amount of money. I get to travel the world. I was like, oh, it's amazing. She went, yeah, I'm a shipsy. And I was like, I don't know about that.
I seen Jennings like.
Yeah.
I just got that. I was
Yeah, I'm a
thinking,
shipsy. And I was
Wow.
like, oh, right, okay. And again, anytime somebody says something horrific to you on board, you just got to be like, that's great.
Cool.
See, but fair good bit of wordplay. If it wasn't for the fact that that's kind of bang out to say these days,
It is, yeah.
It's
She
quite
was
smart.
describing herself as that. It's really funny how right wing the folk are on board, though. Like, I was on board with Matt Reed. I'm sure he won't mind me saying. It's mostly Americans on this boat that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
He did nothing to change his like cadence or slow it down.
He's feel like
He's
new
Geordie,
kids.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like proper Geordie, and so he kept all like the Geordie jargon as well. So he's like, his first thing he's like, "I'll read this, can he? This like it," and everyone's watching, going, "What?" And he like has a bit of a tough gig, and he came off afterwards. I don't know what went wrong there. I went, "I do." They don't know what canny is, like mint and all that.
Old woman from Florida, you're from England. Your English is not good.
But every now we were chatting to this young couple once that just got married, and he was like, "Oh, the bloody Tories," and you seen them just change immediately. Okay, thanks. They were chatting to us for ages, and then they just left. I was like, Matt, you can't be making fun of the right wing on here because that's
They
everybody
are.
here.
Yeah.
It's a cruise ship, man. That's where they are.
Yeah.
Isn't it a funny like time? I think now in comedy and stuff, right? Because not that long ago, you wouldn't get that many people who are doing a Radio 4 series and cruise ships.
Yeah.
But now everything's just all.
I like to think
mixed
I'm the
in.
only one.
But then it's because it's just in the same way that it's like, you know, people now will do live at the Apollo and still host a bringer gig in London or something.
Yeah.
And things like that. And everything's all kind of collapsed now. And so there's no other doing it. So kind of everything's just, you just kind of take what you can get and get wee opportunities where you can take them kind of thing. But the career's so mad now, isn't it?
I think it's just because there's so many comedians now as well. Like, it is hard to just get your big shot and then turn it into something spectacular, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Live at the Apollo, I mean, none of us have been on it, but loads of folk have been on it, you
Yeah.
know, like, and nobody really watches it as much. It used to feel like more of an event than it was.
Yeah.
Maybe shouldn't be slagging it so much. I am available.
I mean, they're aware as much as anyone, I'm sure, and it's
Yeah.
like a lot of people saying how it's like people use it. You know, it's more the clips online if they can pop off.
I think the funny thing with cruise ships, you never get that many followers afterwards because hardly any of them are on social media. There's Facebook maybe, but I mean, I don't
A lot of them
really
probably
post
listen to Radio 4.
Yeah, true, very true.
That woman like, that's not him. That's not him.
Can't be the guy for the radio. I recognise that voice anywhere.
Do you know something I've always been interested in, Gareth, right? Because obviously you're very close with Daniel Sloss.
Yeah,
And like, is it, obviously we've had Daniel on as well before and Kai more recently, but like, is it weird like having that, like being that pally with somebody who's like, particularly like maybe like back in the day when you were like a newer comic and stuff, that's like so famous and
never
then
really-
being so close in that sort of trajectory.
It never really was like a big thing. Like I always just kind of seen us as like, I mean, naively like sort of same job. So it's
Yeah,
not really a
well,
big
it is
thing.
the same job.
Because like when we would go out and that, he never really gets bothered that much. I remember the first time he got recognised, and I went like, "Fucking hell, this guy's famous." We're in Bucharest, going through Bucharest airport. So we're in Romania, and he beeps going through the security gate, and the guy like pats him down, and he went, "Are you Daniel Sloss?" And I was like, "Romanian airport security," knows who you are. And he was like, "Netflix, man, it's big." And so that was like the first time I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
But like, I've never really thought much about it. I think now it's weirdly come into play a bit more that we both have sons of a similar age because they hang out a lot.
Yeah.
So we're just in Lisbon there doing some gigs, and we took the families along.
They look like cool gigs, by the way.
Really cool, man. Yeah. I think it's always fun gigging in Europe because there is that half-second beat after a punchline when you go, "Have I just bombed?" And then it's them translating it in their head, and then they laugh, and you're like, "Fucking hell, thank God." But I think the thing now is the disparity in wealth is going to be the biggest because I don't think growing up I ever had a mate who was like much more rich than I am.
No.
And so Daniel has got a swimming pool in his house. And so we go around a lot for a swim. And the other week I was like packing up our swimming costumes. It's just me and Daniel's son left in the pool room. And he was like, "What are you doing?" He's like 3 years old, just a toddler, you know, no filter, just ask questions. And I went, "I'm just packing up our swimming stuff." And he went, "Why?" And I went, "Oh, just so we can, you know, use them again elsewhere." And he went, "Why?" And I went, "Well, just so we can, you know, swim again. I don't know." And he went, "Does Arlo have a swimming pool in his house?" And I went, no, he doesn't actually. No, he doesn't. And he went, "Why?" And I went, "Because I sold all my best jokes to your fucking dad. That's why, you little shit." And he didn't pay me enough for them. Look at this. But it's just really funny that Arlo lives in like one of the most deprived parts of Edinburgh, and like his best pal lives in this amazing house with a pool. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be maybe a bit tougher growing up, like having to explain to Arlo why we don't have those things.
Yeah. It's a good idea for a Radio 4 sitcom.
I'm still available. I'm very happy to do stuff.
I know, but it is funny that, isn't it? Because like stand up is like probably there can't be that many jobs like that like as you say it is the same job, but like two people do the same job and the disparity in income
Yeah.
or fame or whatever can be so different that it's like it's a crazy thing to get your head around. It must be for the people that are in those positions as well. But it is like whenever you're in the proximity of that, I think it takes a while to get used to
Yeah.
that weirdness.
I think now I just enjoy the moments, like the special treatment and all that.
Aye.
Like, me and Daniel landed at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, and a guy met us, you know, like the tunnel that connects to the plane. He met us at that, and he was like, "Mr. Sloss, give me the passports." And so we gave this guy our passports. I didn't even know who he was. And we just get taken straight out the airport.
Wow.
Like, we skipped every single queue, all the passport queue, all the baggage. He just went, boom, out. And it was like plane to the front door, and honestly, like 2.5 minutes.
Fucking hell.
crazy,
And I was just
isn't it?
like, "What was that?" He was, "Oh yeah, I paid for that service." He went, "What a great service! I'll do that again." And I was, "I'm not going to ask him how much it was
Yeah,
because
that's...
I'll never be able to live like this again. So I'll just enjoy it now."
Yeah.
But Daniel's son has flown in
That's
first
more than
class.
one of your jokes, man.
Daniel's 2-year-old son has flown first class more than I've flown. So
That's-
it's not bad, is it? It's all right life.
The trappings.
But I
of
get
it.
to use the pool, so it's all right.
No, that's good.
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
pretty
um,
good.
Heated?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really nice.
Nice.
I'm like, what's it? Is it Billy Madison when he's really rich and Norm Macdonald's just in his pool? Like, is that just Norm Macdonald?
just
I'm
Norm.
happy with that.
I know. Would you find like, cause see when because you write together a lot and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find is it intimidating writing with somebody who's more well known, or do you no bother because you're just mates and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it don't really bother. Like, I think we've always got like a similar wavelength. So anytime he can give me a joke, I'm like, well, this is one of the biggest comedians in the planet giving me a gag, so that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
doesn't it,
And anytime,
It's like when
It's
Tom
never worked.
Stade always gives you tags
Yeah,
and then like it
unusable.
would only
You can't
work for
use them.
Tom.
I know. I remember trying to explain that to Tom once. Right? We were like driving to Salisbury, and he's like, "Give me a bit. Come on, let's work on it." And I was like, I think I was like 20 at the time, and so I was doing like Unlucky in Love, and he was like, "No, then say you fucked her." And I was like, "People would believe you fucked people, Tom. People would going to look at me and go, "No, you didn't." Right? And he was like,
Tom,
"Why
you
can't
don't
you
say the alphabet into people's families.
I was still doing it back then for sure. But yeah, and then anytime I give Daniel a line and it works and I see it in something, I'm like, well, that's class. There was one point he did a joke in New York and I was watching it and it got like a huge round of applause and I stood up at the back and took a bow and he saw me.
That's so funny.
I was like, yeah, I'll just live for those wee moments. That's all right.
That's good though in a way because like, so see if you see that joke doing that well in that room, it must give you that confidence to be to go, well,
That could be me.
that could be, I could do that. I wrote a joke that gets that response in this
Yeah,
kind of
maybe.
room.
I think there's a lot of other factors other than just like the gag in it. It's like there's
Yeah,
a lot
sure.
of, there's a bit of an X factor, so probably not. But anyway, thanks for having us.
But you done a gig in New York as well, didn't you? Did you-
Yeah,
How was that?
So I was like Daniel Sloss and friends. So he was in the big room upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in the little room below. And I remember one day I had like 30 folk there. It was nice. But his show started slightly before mine, and then mine started just after. And there was one point where our joint manager, first of all, on the walk there, she annoyed me. Listen, I love this person. We still get on very well, but this really fucked me off. It was my first time in New York. I'd never been there. And I was walking to the gig and just walking about, like, you feel like you're in a movie. I'm like, this is where stand-up started, man. This is it. Like, Seinfeld, all that. Like, I love all this stuff. As I'm walking, I get a phone call from her going, I forgot to get crisps for Daniel backstage. Could you pick up some salt and vinegar crisps? And I was like, I'm not the crisp guy. I'm so sorry. I'm here in my own right. I'm not getting my mate crisps.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's only
New York!
make it here, you can make it anywhere. Baby. And so I just refused. I was like, no. I was upset that I'd even been asked. And it wasn't a big deal. The thing is, if Daniel had said, hey, could you pick me up some crisps? I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm not that guy. And then after my show, she came downstairs and I was doing another one the next night. And she went, you're going to have to be quieter in this room because there was some noisebleed upstairs. And I was like, so
Oh, is my 30
Yeah.
upsetting you upstairs? Is it?
I was like, he should be doing fucking better, if anything. Like, at no point should he hear me down here. But yeah, she was like, yeah, you need to be a bit quieter for your intro, your outro, and like there was some gag. She went, you'll need to like change that a wee bit so it doesn't get. And I was
It's like he's Fritzl and you're the family in the basement.
also, I know if he knew that she'd said that to me, he'd be like, absolutely not. No, fuck off. I can deal with it. It's fine. But it's just like so many. Really, yeah, New York was fine. It wasn't a laugh.
Yeah, fair enough.
I went and met Judah Friedlander. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Because he came over here
On 30 Rock.
30 Rock, yeah. He was over here and I took some photos and stuff when he was at the stand for him because he like asked. And I like emailed him and then I sent him like
Do
an
you get
email.
back at Christmas?
For Judah, anything. Absolutely anything. Could you introduce me to some guys, right? What's Tracy Morgan like? But then I messaged him when I was in New York, just like, I was like, look, I'm trying to get into the Comedy Cellar. I saw you were on. I was like, I don't want to jump on. I just want to come in and see the club just because it's so
Aye.
famous. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he was like, I'm doing spots at all three. So I just followed him around all three
cool.
clubs. Saw Mark Normand and who else? Loads of like Todd Barry. It was class. It was just like, but that feels like making it just even being there.
Being there, I know. Because I was, I don't think I'm actually going to go now, but I was looking to go to New York in October, and it's like, you always go like, what feelers could I put out to you?
Yeah.
Because even as you say, like, just to even go and see the clubs and that, because I think it's just hard to get in as an audience member.
It is, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Comedy
Because
Cellar or
they're
something.
really small, the Comedy Cellar. Like the first original one is tiny.
Yeah.
It's like half the size of the stand. Like
Wow.
it's really, really
It's like about
small.
100 seats or something like that, probably.
If that.
If that, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then they've got the bigger room, which is like a bit easier. But
Yeah.
you're getting to see them all. I was like, this is unreal.
Yeah, that's cool. I know. I
Didn't get to
like
sit at the wee comics table upstairs that they've got.
You didn't?
Nah, I had to go away. He was like, do you want to come to the table? And I was like, I really, really want to. But I think I was like, I had to go and get my flight in like an hour or something.
I know. It's also one of the ones like you would have just been there and feeling out of place.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
nobody else would have known you
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff.
I could have just put it. I'm Daniel Sloss. You've ever seen Love Island? It's not here yet, but it's going to be big. I'm the voice of that, actually.
Tonight.
Yeah. Got this great routine about this guy asked for change at a bus, you know. I'm actually the biggest actor in Scotland.
What else you got coming up, Gareth? Are you doing a new show?
Yeah, probably. I guess. I was trying. Do you know? I thought of an idea for a fringe show. I was going to ditch my smartphone and go for a dumb phone for a year and just see what happened. And then I watched Chris Kent the other day do that exact
Exactly
show,
that, yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was fantastic. And I was like, well, that's that idea up to Swanee. So I've got one.
Could just ditch the phone and not do a show.
Yeah, that's also a good idea. I think it'd improve your mental health. And like the other day, my son was like, "Daddy, get off your phone," and I was like, "God, he's only 2.5, and he's telling me off for it." So that really was like, "Oh man." But I've got like a mild, I don't know, like true crime show in me about a time I was frauded. Although I'm still not 100% sure what happened there.
Can you tell us?
You got to get to the
I
bottom
can
of
tell
it.
you a wee bit about it. I don't know how much detail to go in without getting in trouble. But I did this podcast for a fizzy drinks company. And the guy, I since found out, well, I don't think he does work for this company at all.
It's a big company as well.
Very big. One of the biggest, actually, in the world. Which does, I mean, first of all, one of the biggest companies in the world. Our podcast Instagram page had 30 followers, one of which was my dog. So I'm starting to doubt the legitimacy of it.
Yes, one of these companies that sponsor Man City. It's like they're all pure fake.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
A little heavy editing job today, mate. And so, like, there was just loads of weird stuff that happened along the way, and like there was loads of like fake images put up, and I looked up the company that made the podcast, and they don't exist on Customs House. Like, just loads of wee bits along the way. It's like a very low level serial.
What was the guy getting out of it?
This is the only thing I don't know.
Because was it his money?
Did you get paid?
I eventually got paid after accusing him of being a fraud. So I gathered all the evidence, and I knew that he ran a pub quiz in a place in Edinburgh, and so I showed up.
Like all the great people that run these multinational companies.
It's a very fancy hotel that he did it, and I showed up one day because I was around the corner of the stand. I was like, "When's the next pub quiz?" I pretended to be a member because you can only get in if you're a member. And they went, "There's one on right now," and I was like, "Okay." And then I went back outside, and I was like, so fired up. I was like, "If I go in now, I reckon I'll just hit him." So I went, "Don't be smart," because what I thought I was going to have to do was deliver a court summons to him because I didn't know where he lived. I didn't think his company existed and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to have to show up to a quiz and go, "I'll see you in court."
Because if you give someone it in person, it's like...
Yeah, that's it.
Legit.
You've been served.
Do you need like witnesses? No.
Yes, but it's a pub quiz in front of everybody. So
That's brilliant.
yeah, so I was
That's like I object at a wedding.
He just thinks that you're giving them your answers.
Just fucking nerd.
Yeah. He's ahead of the game. So I was like, "Well, don't go in and hit him. Remember that you've got to do this in 2 weeks." And then the other person who was involved with this, who was equally as frauded as I was like, "Look, I'm really over this. I think we should just call all the bullshit." And so I was like, "Okay, that's your call. Let's go for it." And so we just posted all our evidence. Like, I went to a guy that I know does graphic design. I was like, "Can you tell me if an image has been doctored?" And he was like, "Yes." And I sent him the image that this guy had said, "Oh, here's you being paid," like from his bank. And he put it through this software, and it come back with all the edits that had been made and stuff.
Fuck.
And so I was like, "Yeah, so I posted all that. I said, none of this exists. Your company doesn't exist on Customs House. We can't get in touch with anybody that knows you at your company." All that, like, we just flat out did it. And then the next day, he was like, "You've been paid." And I was like, "Surely not." And I was in a flight, and I landed, and then I checked my bank account, and I had been paid. It was, I think it was like 500 an episode he was giving us, which
How many?
Which is mental.
4 pays better
they
than Radio
still-
4. I'll tell you that.
Are they still online?
He's still online, yeah. I think he's still kicking
the
about in
episodes still
places. I think so. I took them and recorded them just in case they disappeared.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're still online or not.
And
Because
see
you've got to pay that constant
the
fee.
actual episodes, are they, obviously tied into this big company?
No, so they were like, never mention the company.
So he was just using that to get to you guys.
I guess so. And then I think he was using us to get to other more famous people, perhaps.
Oh.
Right.
But they were like, "Yeah, no, we don't do like in your face advertising," which is like, now that I look back, that's stupid because
that's
it is
all
one
they
of the.
would do.
Yeah,
What is advertising? But we want it in your face.
Yeah. I mean, every Christmas, holidays are coming.
It's not quite in line with the rest of the campaign, is it?
But he was like, "Oh, just like while you're having a chat, if you could like crack open a can, like don't say what it is, just the sound of that, like."
It always
that's
goes
the
down well with
advertising we look
podcast
for."
listeners when you do that.
Oh yeah, like there was just so much stuff. So I'm thinking about maybe trying to make that into like
That's
a proper
funny.
narrative fringe show this year. But I don't know. Like, I'm going to try and write on the next cruise ship I'm on. But realistically, I'll just be pished somewhere.
Yeah.
And
See,
Oh,
what
we can-
do you think? What's your theory that why was he doing it?
I really don't know. But the other person I did the podcast with was a trained accountant. So they knew that all the money stuff, they were like, "Oh, this is nonsense." We phoned up. I've got like 3 recordings of me phoning the company's like payments team, and they were like, "What's the code that he gave you for being paid?" And I was like, there's 4 digits. They went, well, we never do 4 digits.
Mm.
It's always this. So I've got all these recordings, and then there's one point where I'm picturing in my head like, okay, serial, Netflix, all this. You've got to have the kill. You've got to be confident here. So I went, so would you say that this person doesn't work for you? And they went, well, I couldn't say that. They might just be hidden on the system, but I can't see them on the employee list. And I went, so do you think they don't work for you? He went, yeah, probably not. I was like, fuck yes, it's a smoking gun. So I started like really trying to get all the evidence, like
Fucking Nixon tapes.
Yeah. Well, I phoned up I hope he doesn't listen to this because he'll be on to us. But I phoned up a private investigator. I was like, could you track this guy?
Jesus Christ. How much money are you looking for?
$2,000 burning a hole in the pocket.
Private investigator is only 140 quid apparently.
Right.
But, so
I might just start getting them for a laugh.
yeah. It's
Instead of
Nathan for
getting
you.
a cameo.
They gets them to track each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
So I was like, can you? I was like, all I want to know is does this guy work for this company? That's all I want. And they went, well, there's no real way for us to do that other than just putting out a track on the guy. And I was like, yeah, go. But I was a bit skint at the time, so I went, oh no, well, no bother. But I might do it again, and just
for a laugh.
just for the laugh, and just for the show. It's quite like a
Interesting.
funny thing to hire somebody. But anytime I listen to true crime stuff now, I'm like, yeah, you think you said about it? I mean, I eventually got the money, but
It was touch
nobody
and
was
go.
murdered. But
Well, not
I was
yet.
embarrassed for quite a while.
Wait to see this comes out. It's funny that into when you get a bit fucked about for money. Like I've always been dead lucky with gigs. The only time that I've took ages to get paid was this guy. He used to run gigs up north, and I remember doing. I done a couple for him, and it was like I think one got cancelled, so he agreed to pay us like half the fee or something, and the other one he owed his money for, but he didn't pay us for ages and ages and ages, and then eventually, and this was after me going back and having to send him big, long things, and he eventually paid us, and he paid us a wee bit more than I was due, and I was just by that point I'm going, well, that's maybe just cause like sometimes people do ask for like interest or whatever if they've
Yeah.
not been paid after a certain amount of time, and then he texts me going, oh shit, I've overpaid you. Can you send me that money back? It's like 100 quid or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, the shoe's on the other foot now. and I thought it'd be really funny. Well, I was a lot of people probably just wouldn't have paid him back. And I was thinking of doing that. And I thought I could really drag this out and make him beg for it. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to be the bigger man. I didn't like send it immediately, but I was like, after a few days, I was like, do you know, I'm going to be the bigger man here because I feel like, see, when people are doing that, it's like they're losing out on more. They think that they're winning by fucking people over, but
Yeah.
you're actually losing out in the long run by
Yeah.
being like that. And I thought, well, I'll just be the bigger person and send it back, and I'll just know that'll never work for
You
this
just
time
reminded
again.
me of a story that I totally forgot about. My mate from school once got sent by mistake £250,000. What? So he was like working for this company, and then they sent it to him, and they didn't notice for ages. And so I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm keeping it in my account, getting the interest." And I was like, "Okay." I went, "You should say and like flag it immediately." He was like, "No, fuck it." He was like, "I'll get a bit of interest, and then when they notice, I'll send it back. I can pretend I get that sort of money in all the time." I'm sure it was like £250,000. or
And
something.
what happened?
I think he eventually sent it back, but like I don't actually know the end of the story. But my
I'd
mate,
be
who-
fucking putting that in a
know.
different account straight away.
that's what he did. He
Straight
put
to
it in a
Mexico.
different
Yeah,
account
yeah,
to
yeah.
like a high interest one.
Yeah.
And the other guy that worked with him was another mate from school. He was the one telling me about it, and I was like, "That's mental. Like that feels like big. You could go to jail stuff." And he was like, "Nah, I don't think so."
But you've
What?
not
Oh,
done
you've
it.
not done
Yeah,
it?
he was like, "Oh, I didn't notice." But it's like a 2-person company and $250,000 coming from nowhere. And so I think he had it for like maybe 5 or 6 days and then sent it back. But he got like a wee bit of interest on
Did
it.
they know the people that sent it?
Yeah, yeah, it was one of his clients.
Oh, right, okay. So wasn't he
You've
just like?
got a duty
Yeah.
to send it
Aye,
back.
it wasn't he
It
just.
wasn't just it showed up in your account. You're like,
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I just
so
some
it's like somebody
McDonald's have
worked for-
just accidentally sent you a quarter
And
million.
then,
Yeah.
so I think he said they phoned him up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I see it here now, yeah." And he was like, "Well, I mean, it's just a small account. Like, I don't think I'll be able to just do it on my phone. Do you know what I mean? I'll need to go to the
Can only
bank.
do £200 at a time.
Yeah, can't get rid of the whole world.
I'll send it dribs and drabs." So, like, I think he did have to go into the bank and be like, "Hiya, can you send that back to these people? Sorry."
Wow.
That's crazy.
What would have happened if he'd spent it?
I think he'd go to jail.
Yeah.
Would you?
Would you?
Well, I don't know.
Because
Maybe
if they've
not.
just sent you,
It's not just an element of error on their part.
Yeah, if they've gave you it, even if it's by mistake, they've still given you it.
It's a
yeah.
lot. £250,000.
Yeah, it was massive. Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
I'm going to text my mate after and double check what happened with that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you can maybe do
That would be unbelievable. Imagine just seeing that amount of money.
You'd shit your pants.
I would actually. I think I'd be scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not relax.
If you found that,
There's certain folk that would relax. There's certain folk that would be like, yes. Whereas I'd just be like, oh no.
I'd instantly think I'm going to jail for some reason that I don't even understand yet.
yeah,
That's like one of those things. Like, what would you do for this amount of money to put in your bank account and just put in your account? You're like, oh fuck. Like,
Yeah.
But say if you found that in cash though, what would you do? Would you keep it or would you just?
you get a wheelbarrow.
Aye.
But
That
if
feels
it's
even
an
dodgier, doesn't it?
It's an expensive wheelbarrow. That.
That's lovely. What time is it? That feels like something you end on that.
It's not far off. Not far off.
I'd want 250k if I was selling that one to Sloss.
So anyway, Gareth, just to reiterate,
Yeah.
your Radio 4 series comes out when?
15th of October. It's going to be live on Radio 4 at 11 p.m. But you can catch it on the BBC Sounds app.
And what's it called again?
Human Watch.
Human Watch.
I'll be
Gareth
listening.
Waugh,
I'll listen.
Marilyn Robson, another friend of the show, and,
Yep.
and Phil Ellis, etc.
Yeah,
on
so
it as
cool.
well. Great stuff. Anything else to plug before you touring or doing a Glasgow Comedy Festival?
No,
show
I'll
or
be on
anything?
the Seven Seas for a wee bit. And then I'll be back just doing gigs about the place, man. Yeah.
Nice one, man. Well, thanks so much for
Cheers,
joining
cheers,
us.
guys.
Gareth,
Always
mate.
a pleasure. Thank you.
And yeah, just as ever, obviously, we are on Patreon. Do sign up to that if you haven't already. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can follow us at SomewherePod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And send an email as you've got to our email address, which is somewherepod@gmail.com. And thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. And we'll speak to you very soon.
Nice one.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Gareth.
Thanks, Gareth.